So whenever I think about the most important people in my life, I always think of three people. I think of the Prophet ﷺ, I think of my beloved father, and I think of finally Malcolm X. For me, he's been so transformative in my life and me becoming a man. And I always think that if I were to meet somebody, it would be Malcolm X. But my question to you is, if you could meet any influential figure, not cheating, you can't say the Prophet, who would it be? Who would you have a conversation with?
That's a very unique and interesting question. I, my first pick would be Imam Ghazali. Imam Ghazali had always been a very inspirational person that I've read some of his books as well. And if I had the opportunity to sit with him in our time and ask him a question, my question to him would be, Imam, how do you balance between the mind, the aql, and the spiritual heart, which is the qalb? So if I had the opportunity to sit with one scholar and ask him a question, my pick would be Imam Ghazali. I've read a few books from him and very inspirational, very motivational books as well. And I would ask him the question that I think many of our youths they ask today, concerning the mind, the soul, and the heart, aligning these things. And if I had an opportunity to sit with him, that would be a unique experience. Having Imam Ghazali in our time, it would have been monumental. Seeing that we have a lot of challenges in our time, how would he have, tackled these challenges? So my question to him would have been, Imam, let's just say you're Imam Ghazali. I would say, Imam, how would you balance between the aql, the mind, and the heart, the qalb, in an era where the world may be chaotic? And I would say these two things are very important. Sometimes the mind, with our materialistic ideas, the heart, finds it very challenging to cope with the mind sometimes. Sometimes the hearts want to be nourished by a certain thing, but the mind strays a little bit. And in our time, I think the young people, there's a lot of challenges that we're facing today. I've been having a lot of questions too about this. How do you align the mind with the heart? And to ensure that, both of them doesn't get disconnected from each other. Because, yeah, of course, the mind, it's like the window to the heart. Whatever is being processed there, it also affects the heart as well. And so a lot of our thoughts, a lot of our ideas, a lot of our thinking in our times, if we don't filter it in such a way that it's acceptable, it corrupts the heart. And I would ask him this question, and I would be interested to know what his answer would have been. And then also, if I had a chance to ask a scholar, I would pick maybe Imam Shafi or Imam Abu Hanifa. These have been popular imams that have been, on the lips of many people. And so, if I had an opportunity to sit with them in a world that's filled with so many questions, so many unprecedented issues, I would ask them the question of, how do you find the middle path? In an era where you have extreme polarizing, and it's being bombarded in our communities, where different, issues have been arising from different topics and different fields. How do you find the middle path? Because at the same time, we don't want to be extreme, but at the same time, we don't want to be too relaxed in our deen as well. But finding the middle path, it's a challenge in our communities today. And so with this right frame of mind, with this approach, I think, I would look forward to an answer from him directly. I think this is also one of the current challenges faced by our young people as well, and myself and yourself being amongst that category. I'm sure, this is something that we think all the time. How do we find the middle course?